Hey, this is Charles Calhoun, aka the Shade Tree Pro. Now I'm gonna put in some doing some putting here, and this is what like I say, I call it my cluster drill. All I'm working on is getting reps, building those little muscles. But I do like to clown around with it because, as I say, at the end of the day, you're still holding the club in your hand, your feet are still touching the ground, and you still got to strike the club face with the ball with the club face. That's never changes in putting. You know, your nerves, that's a different story. But the fundamentals and actions of how it happened, I mean, that's just that's not difficult. I mean, the club, I mean, the putter is the slowest club we're moving, so it gives you time to be able to see and understand. And this one, I'm just gonna do some just some stupid like Bobby Locke type of strokes or whatever, you know. So check it out. Damn ball in my way. See, the point I'm making is that it doesn't matter. You know, you can set up there. You just got to get this to strike that, and you just got to know how it's done. And there is a way. It's something you're supposed to see when you're doing it. And if you see it, you will strike that ball. I mean, you could just, it doesn't matter. You can strike that ball with a lot of consistency. And that's just my normal roll right there. Don't go in. Ah, dirty dog. So watch. Now, one of my guys, this guy Brett, he was talking to, said that I need to get my, he said, hey man, you know, you could get your toe flatter. But see, there's a thing, and so I'll explain what happens to me. Throughout the round, when my body, and that's why I'm doing these reps, when my body gets a little bit tired, I have a tendency, in a sense, to move a little bit too far forward. So when my toe, when my club is a little flatter, I have a tendency to drag my toe. Now I know what my tendencies are. So by doing that, my putter is it's a little upright as far as on the toe. It sets up a little bit, kind of like Mazaki, what's his name, won the Hawaiian Open. You know, the older guy. I think he was from Japan. So when I get, like I said, I like to have it a little bit open because I do like, I mean, a little bit up because I do, that's a bad one. I do like feeling the toe release over. And it's just like a toss to me. And I feel like my putting stroke just feels like I'm just tossing it. Those are soft. But see, that's why I can do these things like this, because it doesn't matter. I'm still just tossing the ball. And it's hot as hell here in Florida right now. It's about close to 100 degrees. But see, that's a bad. But see, it's just the feeling of that. I just don't get myself locked in that I got to do this. I'm a robot. No, not at all. I want to feel the freedom of what I'm trying to do. Softies. My ball position never changed. I play the ball off my logo, and I never change it. I may move in here, but I never change my ball off of my logo. Now if you can see this little putt, it looks straight, but there's a huge break in it towards the end. And like I said, I never change my ball position. My ball position is always off my logo. I don't, like I said, I don't care if I'm here, I still feel that ball off of my logo. See, it never changes, no matter what I do, no matter what my stance. Even if I putt with my wide stance here, sometime, which I do, that ball is never off my logo. And the reason being, because that's where I found, for me, to where, you know, my strike is. So that's where I can build consistency, whether I'm putting the claw grip like most people are doing. My putting stroke or my position is still exactly the same. You know, the people who's putting it up their arms and doing this, it still doesn't matter. My position of where I'm putting is exactly the same. It never changes. And so, since it never changes, then I know gripping the golf, putting my hands on the grip never changes. My feet touching the ground never changes. The position of my ball never changes. So all I have to do is keep reminding myself of the things that never changes and keep my concentration and focus on those. You know, it doesn't mean the whole thing about like me putting on this green is going to be different than me putting on some other green per se. So all I'm doing is just trying to get the reps in. I've kind of blocked my way a little bit with my balls there, but I'm gonna get these two out here. I got a big wind in my face too. I'm not concerned where I'm hitting, especially when I'm practicing, if I'm making them, because I don't want to waste putts. I'd rather not make them, tell the truth, say those for the golf course. But what I am doing is just focusing on feeling and building those little teeny muscles that at the end of the rounds, you know, they can be overtaken by the larger muscles. I'm trying to avoid that by building those and giving them strength. The longer you hear Bryson DeChambeau talk about in his golf swing how they're working to strengthen the smaller muscles to make the big ones, you know, work better. And I totally agree with that, you know, and that's I've been doing that for years, and that's why I do this little, what I call the cluster drill, because I want to feel that. I want to feel those little muscles getting stronger. Once again, little body lock. Crenshaw opened it up. He stood to the side, and he closed that. Boom, that face opened and closed. I like his putting stroke. That ball's in the way, making it turn. And even as great as Tiger Woods' golf stroke was, or is, excuse me, not was, but he still holds the golf club in his hand. His feet still touch the ground. He still has a position where he puts that ball, and all he does is uses his whatever his thought is just take the club back and hit it. That doesn't change for anyone. Let me see if I can go through the gap down there. My way. Last one, I see if I can hit that ball I just hit. Just missed it. Hey, this is Charles Calhoun, aka the Shade Tree Pro. Put some reps in on your putting. Don't worry about if you're making or missing. Just keep putting the reps in, and that builds consistency. The more consistent you can do things, the better your putting stroke will be. Charles Calhoun, aka the Shade Tree Pro, and always good putting.